Hello, and welcome to a video about strip clubs and temple prostitutes. From strip clubs to temple prostitutes, male fraternal bonding feeds off of the exploitation of women and children. This is why they call it the oldest profession. Pompeii was frozen in time and perhaps had angered the gods. I guess they didn't have enough flying penises whizzing around. Was it not enough or too many? Who knows? Trapped under the volcanic ashes remained just a small slice of what it was like at the time. There is a lot of argument about Pompeii and its nature, and indeed the initial Victorian people who found it, who uncovered Pompeii, censored it at the time because of, Victorian ideas. So there's a lot of argument, but we do know about one official brothel at least. There's graffiti all over their place. But I also suspect that there were rituals tied to the Hermes dicks, probably a form of sex magic. This is from a website called wearealiens.com. One of the famous brothels in ancient Pompeii was called, I'm going to mess this up, Lupinare, Latin for wolf's den. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this was a two-story building built just years before the destruction of Pompeii. Believed to be the only purpose-built brothel in Pompeii, the Lupinare had 10 rooms and a latrine under the stairs. Each of the 10 rooms had a stone bed covered with a mattress where a prostitute would entertain her clients. Another famous feature of the Lupinare is its erotic wall paintings. Each of the paintings depicts a different position for sexual intercourse, and these were believed to have served as an advertising board for the various specialties that were on offer, like a menu of sorts. I am surprised that in current discussions of strip clubs, the connection between them and our ancient ancestors isn't explored. Strip clubs do not come out of a vacuum. Men go to them for many reasons, yes, but I believe the number one reason is that it's simply a male bonding ritual. There are certainly men that go alone and criminals. One of the better posts on the feminist message board over it was a woman who was or is a stripper talking about the different types of customers. At the end of the day, they are always customers, with temple prostitutes as well. Women's bodies were used as props in a larger ritual of male bonding or sexual ritual. Women are the commodities that help keep more corrupt men in place, from the lowlife pimp to the guys in charge of MindGeek. Just think about how many corrupt people would be bankrupt or be made responsible for their crimes against humanity if we went after the sex industry. It would cripple entire sectors of organized and corporate crime. But let's get back to everyday men and women and why they go to strip clubs. As a ritual, it is very similar to that of the temple prostitute in Rome. Did it ever really die? From Wikipedia. On April 27th, the Florialia, held in honor of the goddess Flora, was first introduced about 238 BC, featured erotic dancing and stripping by women characterized as prostitutes. According to the Christian writer Lactantius, I'm sure I didn't say that right, in addition to the freedom of speech that pours forth every obscenity, the prostitutes at the inopportunities of the rabble strip off their clothing and act as mimes in full view of the crowd, and this they continue until full satiety comes to the shameless lookers-on holding their attention with their wriggling buttocks. Oh my. Juvenal also refers to the nude dancing and perhaps to prostitutes fighting in gladiatorial contests. In Babylon, men would pay the temple to pray to Ishtar in the form of sacred prostitution, as if these words actually go together. From History on the Net, scholars have yet to settle on the question of whether sacred prostitution took place. Herodotus, a Greek historian, wrote that every Babylonian woman had to attend the temple of Ishtar Inanna and agreed to have sex with any male that asked her. Once she performed this ritual, the male visitor gave her money to donate to the temple. Scholars have called this Sacred prostitution, although the rite was essentially performed as a devotion or prayer to the goddess to ensure fertility. The fraternal order running the cult would collect the money and gain more power. See how that works? Women and children's bodies have been exploited throughout space and time. It is a common thread that runs through history and connects us over generational gaps and distances. The practice of strip clubs is what consumerist secularism looks like. We are told that's no big deal. I don't know how many movies I can count that feature the strip club. The fraternal order of Italian mobsters meeting at the strip club is featured most famously in the HBO series The Sopranos. Everyone knows it's not a place where you would bring your future in-laws. It's for the boys to feel powerful, but also, in my opinion, to feel a little slimy. The criminal element appeals to some people as a taboo thrill. I think this explains the prevalence of BDSM clubs as well. You see, rich people, or middle-class people who haven't felt real oppression, like to feel that they are doing something novel and obscene. They know they can always go back to their secured properties and not get their hands dirty like their criminal counterparts running strip clubs and sex clubs. For everyone else in between, the strip club serves as a place to bond with your male and now increasingly female peers. For some, it might be 1 or 2 nights out ever. For others, it's weekly. The frequency does not matter. The exploitation of women does. People want to fix society and yet cannot even imagine liberating women. Some say women choose this. I say no way. There are always socio-economic factors at play. In Babylon, it was as simple as you were a woman. The strippers I have met are usually proud of their careers, but they were also young women, yet to feel the grips of time. There is the story of the woman that strips to put herself through college. It seems like everywhere you look there is imagery and propaganda normalizing the strip club and BDSM. I believe this is done purposely to legitimize the sex industry. No one wants to look at how exploitative it is. Neoliberals protect pornography as free speech. Sex is somehow a right of men. This has a long history, but I really don't have time or want to get into stupid free love hippies right now. How it is manifesting currently are sex bots. Technology is often motivated by what they call big dick energy. Reminds me of the Pompeii penises. Really, the more things change. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time. Have an awesome time doing whatever you're doing.